not there will be no recording. Yeah, I'm doing a recording right now. In fact, I just clicked on it. I just started it. Yeah. Jimmy's request is that you do not record this recording because it's actually a private session and only for this group of people. In fact, after the show, we will not be releasing it on our Facebook or anywhere else. We will be keeping it private. All right. And also the other thing I want to ask is that please keep your mics mute so that it's not distracting to anyone else, as well as your video. You can turn it on if you want to, but maybe you can turn it on towards the end of the conversation. We're still waiting for more and more people to come in. We had quite a good response with this webinar. I think close to 70, I think 70 or over 70 people signed up. So we're just waiting for different ones to come in. But maybe just a quick start of conversation in the chat window is that we're still figuring out the best time to have webinars like this. The next one that we are doing is on this coming Wednesday, and that is with Brenda Yong, talking about building financial adaptability, right? Financial management in challenging times. That's coming Wednesday at 5 p.m. Weekday evening. And then following that will be on Friday with Hanson Lim, talking about our kingdom assignment, how to respond in this situation, and what's our role in partnering with God with what's happening, right? So in the chat window, maybe just real quick, if you have a preference, like say weekdays, weekday evening, or weekends, when you would be more likely to join a webinar like this, just put it in the chat window. I would love to hear from you. All right. Okay. There's 32 people now, waiting for more people to come in. And for those of you who want to tune into our Rhema radio show, in fact, after this webinar, if you want to listen to the conversation that I had with Jimmy Ong, just head on to Spotify and search for Rhema Radio. That's RHEMA RADIO, Rhema Radio, or even our website, rhemarad.io. And then you can tune into all our conversations that we've been having all these years. I hope you can find it insightful, and I hope you learn a thing or two from our podcasts. We've been doing this again for 3 years now, so there's I think 200 over shows that we've already released, featuring music, songs, stories, sermons from different ones. All right. Without further ado, I think I'm gonna invite Jimmy Ong into the room. Can you come on board, Jimmy?
Hello, Jason.
Hi, Jimmy.
Hello.
Looking good, looking very vibrant.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Maybe to start off, before we go into the more heavier stuff, is how has this MCO been treating you?
Well, I think it is a new norm that everybody knows, and we are all facing we are all fighting the same battle, and then we are all coming to a point that you know what to do. So that's why today I think it's good that we come together to learn from each other what to do, and when you don't know what to do, as well as, you know, I can share my views also as well. So that's the whole purpose here.
Okay. So people who have seen the videos that were shared, your interviews that you done with different media platform and news portals, and they know that you're Singaporean. But where are you going through this quarantine time? Where are you doing it?
Okay, yes, I am 100% Singaporean, but I'm also a half Malaysian, so to speak, because the other half is a Malaysian. Okay, my wife is from KL, and I am right now based here with my family. Yeah, I'm going through the MCO, not the CB. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Again, still waiting for people to come in more and more as they enter. Yeah. For those of you, maybe in a very quick one summary, the things that you went through. Okay, maybe just as an opening as well. The reason why I reached out to Jimmy is because this word resilience. When this whole MCO thing came about and COVID-19, a lot of people say we got to be resilient. And straight away I thought of Jimmy, because you had to go through a time of overcoming your own struggles and to be resilient, isn't it? people who read your story and seen your interviews know that you were undiagnosed dyslexic. You lost your job. You divorced, and at the peak, at the bottom pit of it was when your own son died of cancer. So does that sum it up roughly? Also, your sister as well. I forgot your sister as well. Took her life, and you have to go through one after the other, after the other, after the other. So you really had to build resilience yourself.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
So
That's can sums up all.
And because of going through all that, I think you are well suited to talk about this topic. So many people are coming in and tuning in from different background, and many people are wondering what are the handles that they can have in life to weather through these challenging times. Okay, so before we go into that, if any of you who are listening to Jimmy and you have questions, you can go ahead and ask at the chat window. Once again, if you're on your mobile device, you can click on more and do on chat. But if you're on a laptop desktop, at the bottom there's a chat icon. You can just click on it, and then you can ask the questions, and then at the end of it we see how many questions we can address. But let's get into it. Jimmy, all right. Maybe to start things off, I wanted to ask you a simple and yet complex question to start it off. Is what is life about to you? How do you view life after going through all those things that we mentioned earlier?
Okay, I get this quite a lot about life, but I know that indeed you're right. It's complex. It's a simple question, but yet it's really complex. It's not as straightforward as possible because everybody faces different struggles and challenges and things like that. But to me, I think if I'm going to ask everybody about what is life all about in one word, I guess there will be a lot of words where, people will say there's struggles, anxiety, it's like challenges, some may say happiness, family, or whatever it is. But to me, I look at life, I mean, we all know that life is a journey, right? So I look at life is a journey of 3 stages, and that's it. 3 stages of 20, 40, and 20. Like the first stage of the 20 years, you get yourself educated and prepare for the middle 40 years for your career, right? So the remaining 40 years, it all depends on the performance of the middle 40 years. Now, everything happens, a lot of things happens in the middle 40 years, whether good or bad, happiness or sad or so many things, success or failure or things like that, even poor or rich. I remember Steve Jobs shared this quotes before, and he says that if you are born poor, it's not your mistake, but if you die poor, it's your mistake. I took that pretty seriously. Okay, yes, I came. I was born in a family that don't have a. I think I to sum up to say that I've gone through childhood poverty. And my father was a taxi driver. My mother was a canteen operator. We have I have half a dozen of sisters and one brother. In the age of 10, I have to really go out there to make my own pocket money. Sell nasi lemak to the nearby factory to make my own pocket money, and that's actually very much about my childhood. So, but I mean, looking at life, it's 3 stages that we look at. Some young people, the last month I went to a talk at one of the university that one of the student came to me and said that, he's facing struggles, he don't know how to overcome. So I told him that you are only on the first stage of the 20 years, you're only 18. You have not even go into the real struggles and real world yet, So these are something that I see life as in like, wow, 40 years from age 21 to 60, this is all the things that are happening now. So I'm sure that a lot of people actually register you are around this age as well. But of course, I mean, if you're on the last 20 years, or some of you may already exceed 90 years, so you're blessed, with a long life as well. So yeah, 3 stages, 20, 40, 20 life to me.
That's an interesting way of looking at it. It's truly, life is made up of seasons.
Yeah.
And I think what you're going to share today also is like, regardless of whatever season of life that they are in, it's interesting, whatever age group that we are in as well, we are going through this MCO, this CB, this COVID-19 situation together. And
Yeah,
I know this word has been used over and over again, unprecedented. So in our lifetimes, in our grandparents' lifetime, I mean, we've never gone through this. This is something very, very new for everyone. So the way we deal with it also, the way we unpack it, the way we respond to it is a new experience for everyone. But I guess why we're having this conversation here is because at the same time, the way to respond of it with this is actually universal, because we're talking about our mentality, we're talking about our own self-worth and things. It's also at the same time universal, and things that we as a human person, a full person, can actually respond to it. So I'm amazed at how you managed to transform your life and attain success actually within such a short time. You picked yourself up from all that. That really at the lowest point was when you even shared that you were ready to take your life. But now you regain your life and more and more and more. So while there are many out there, other people may be striving and they don't attain any level of success, maybe as you want to put it the way. So how did you overcome it? What motivates you? What drives you?
I mean, first of all, I want to say that, to be able to share my story again and again, especially also now, it's like living life twice, So it's really an opportunity, a second chance again and again is given me, and then to back to my hand and ask myself that what do I want for my life? To me, I really believe that in life there will be a lot of struggles and challenges, and that's for sure, right? So if I'm going to sum up, like everybody, every participants, including me and you as well, and a lot of people out there, everybody is fighting some kind of a life battle, whether it be the big or small or things like that, So how are you going to overcome? Because we go through different seasons, we have different struggles and challenges. How do you overcome these kind of challenges? What to do really when you don't know what to do. But to me, I look at it in, like I say, the first question that you asked me about what is life all about. I look at it is the perspective of life is really very important. I remember when I was at the age of 40, when I lost everything, when I almost wanted to end my life, the time when I woke up, the time is like asking myself, then, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? For example, in my talk, I like to come out and say, thank you for the introduction. My name is Jimmy Ong, and I'm 25 this year. And then, I'm based in Malaysia, but I'm a Singaporean. People start to laugh and then giggle and say, I'm 25 years old, because they haven't seen that not much hair, right?
You didn't turn on the filter, the face filter,
Yeah, I mean, so I said, well, I'm 25, but I think you got me wrong. I might have another 25 years to go. Now, I'm going to ask everybody this question now. If you are expected to live up to 80, let's say, for example, 80, how many years more you might have? Why don't you ask yourself? Maybe Jason, what about you? If you're expected to live 80, how many years more you might have?
40 years.
40 years. That's like 14,620 days. Perhaps, maybe, right? The question that I asked them, and a question I want to pose to everyone, if you're expected to live up to 40, and this is the remaining life that you might have.
80, you mean? Yeah.
80, let's say, if you are expected to live up to 80, the remaining life that you have. Are you happy with the life that you're living right now? Or you want to live the life that you've always wanted? Now, a lot of people are still waiting for inspiration, waiting for some miracles, and waiting for some, light bulbs and things like that. I wish I can tell you that this entire short session can shape your future and change your life forever. Now, get it right. I'm going to give you all the very personal tips. There won't be any jargons or any sort of like fancy theories or something like that. But I'm going to share with you a lot of things that I'm going to share about. So I look at this way, that how I overcome is actually how I see the perspective of the remaining life of my life What am I going to do? I have to always remember this. Always, and I'm going to share this part to all of you here. If you remember this, I think you'll be wonderful. It's not about what you have done, you could have done, or you should have done anymore. It's about now. What do you want? What can you do? And most importantly, what will you do to get what you want? It's not about what you have done or you should have done or could have done. It's about what you want. What can you do and what will you do to get what you want? Because I know exactly the remaining life that I have. I know exactly what I want. So I fight for it. Fighting struggles, firefight in life, and fighting to achieve what you want, the amount of time and the stress level is the same. But it can drive you closer to where you want to go. So I see life in a way that challenges is part of the process. And nothing else. Whether at work is going to, if work there is challenges for me, I find that this is the best time for me to learn many things, right? So I see life, remaining time that I have, what do I really want? What will I do? That's how I got to where I am today. Hope that answers your question.
Yeah. So it's not, also another way of putting it, and some people will say, it's not how you started, but it's how you end. And many people do not have that end in mind. So the question that you're asking us is, are we happy with where we are right now? And what is it that we can do, and what actions can we take to actually go towards that place which we want to be? So, and I think many people here also may not have an idea, because maybe they had a clue of where they want to go. Then COVID-19 happened. Then MCO happened.
Yeah.
Then all the plans just. So I think it's a good time to reevaluate and reset and to respond again. Yeah. Maybe back to you again, like amidst all the challenges and difficulties that you face, right, Jimmy? And there were many things that we shared earlier. If the people that watched the video or have heard your story,
right,
there was a defining moment, right? What was your ultimate turning point, right? What made you decide that you want to get up and move on versus just staying with the status quo? What was that moment for you?
Defining moment, Rhema moment as well. So this this is really very personal, and I find that actually there are a lot of my story, my turning point are basically I learned from during the worst time. So many people did ask me about where exactly was your turning point, and how do you make the decision to do what you have done to get out of where you are right now. I think I would say, actually my turning point, a big turning point is actually inside the lockup. Yeah, I just give you a little bit of background. Because after I lost everything, including my late son, my life, I've lost hope, because he was the only friend. He was the only person that is so close to me that I can really share everything, at such a young age. Because he's always there to tell me that, whatever how other people sees you, I don't care, Daddy, because I love you. So he's given me a lot of really good things, good memories about him as well. So I remember this part about all this. So after he passed away at the age of 11, which is in June 10th, 2004. Though I made a decision that not to end my life because of the 3 promises that I promised him in the separate occasions, and I didn't. And when I was moving forward my life, it was really very tough. I was grieving very, very badly, so badly that every moment it was a time that I want to, just to end my life. But I go through, and then I was thinking that what should I do, for this part here. So I only know that every night I have to get myself completely drunk. I only know that there's only way out every day is to get myself drunk, that even sober can't help me, because I'll be going back, you know, behind closed door, I'll be crying and I'll be crying, weeping uncontrollably. So I got to tell myself that every night to find opportunity to really entertain clients, and then, you know, to get myself drunk as well. So it was one night after, when I was when I entertained a client, I was stopped by the police. You know, I drove a company car. I was stopped for drink driving test, and I failed. You know, and the breathalyzer test failed. So I've got to go to the police station, and then I remember I was inside the lockup, and that was actually the refining moment. You know, I was thinking of a lot of things about my life. You know, what's happening to my life? What has happened to my life? You know, what have I done wrong when I did everything right? You know, where I have done, you know, I won all the argument, and then I've divorced. I proved my rights, my employment rights. Yet I lost my job. I proved all my friends wrong, but yet I lost all my friends. What have I done wrong when I did everything right? That's where I recall that, you know, there was this posters on the wall. And I was just like looking to myself. I'm almost gone crazy. I was talking to myself that, you know, what have I done wrong really in life? You know, it gets so worse. And that's where the point, it's like a light bulb, you know, like I'm looking at that face that I'm talking to. It was really myself. I was talking to myself that actually what was wrong with my life. And basically, this light bulb just came and said that, you know, my whole entire values of my life was totally upside down, and it was wrong. And every day I was out there, it was just me, myself, and fighting for the face value to win people, to prove my rights, to prove people wrong, you know, to prove everything about I'm so obsessed about, you know, the big me, that I'm better than anyone else. So that's why I said, you know, that was really wrong. I mean, the face value was the one that caught me, and I was inside the lockup. And I remember that it was the policeman was at the door. Okay, somebody came to bail me, and the policeman opened up the gate and, okay, Jimmy, you can go. I sat down, and then the second time you said that you can go, I was still looking at him. I didn't even want to stand up. And the third time you said that if you're not standing up, you can stay here for the rest of your life. You know, so I was like, why I didn't even dare to stand up was because every time I attempt to change, to be better, to want to have a better life, but yet it all ends up down. And I said, no, I don't even dare to go out. Once I go out, you know, I might end up in the same place or even worse. So I said, no. It's enough, it's enough. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of life. And I must go all the way out. I must pick myself up. I must really go all the way to face it head on in life. So I stood up, walked out of the door. And that's where the time I learned this one practical life strategies that is amazing, that brought me to where am I today. And today I want to share with you something very personal. Really seriously in life, there is nothing to prove, but everything to improve. You don't have to prove people wrong. You don't have to prove your rights. You don't have to prove, you know, everything. But what is that something that you want to improve for your life, the area of your life, the things of your life? So I find that actually really, in fact, we are talking about this, you know, this MCO or the CB period is the best time for us to sit down at home and reflect. What are some of the areas of our life is not working well anymore? It's not okay anymore. What should we do, you know, with our marriage, you know, with our children, or with our work and finances? It's the best time for us to reflect also as well. So that was inside the lockup, was the turning point where entire strategy was nothing to prove, but everything to improve.
I like that so much. It's so powerful. Again, it's nothing to prove, everything to improve.
Absolutely.
That is a stance and a posture that actually anyone can take. If you think that you're already perfect and already nothing to improve, really, that's where I think it will be you're in a dangerous place.
Yep,
but if you're in a posture of needing to learn and open to improve or to be disrupted, I think that's a very healthy place to be. But you shared so much. I think there's a bit to unpack here as well. I don't know how many of our guests here, I think many of them are parents themselves. just to get into that frame, imagine, you know, just imagine for a minute that you have a child and you lost your child. That was the place that, Jimmy, you were at. Your child was lost to you. And you came to such a place in your life where even in prison, other people who have something to live for or something to be excited about, when they say can leave prison, they just run out at the opportunity. But you came to a point where, hey, maybe prison is better than the alternative out there, which you do not know what is going to face, because there's so many variables. And I think some people also can relate here, even now in this MCO, in this CB, in this time of dealing with the coronavirus. Maybe they also don't know when this whole thing ends, what is going to be there for them tomorrow. There's a fear. There's a time. There's a looming cloud. There is something which they are, maybe prison is better. That was what you came through. So my question right now to you is, no, you now that you're okay, now you've gone through it, and we can see that you're alive and well, that you're happy, you're making jokes and all that. In fact, you're leading people and you're training them to be resilient. So Coach Jimmy, right now, you're training us, right? For people who are listening to this, what do you think is the ultimate tipping point for those struggling with their struggles? What is the tipping point in this current pandemic and lockdown, you think, for them to turn the leaf and to be better and to really strive towards what you say, nothing to prove, everything to improve? What is it that you feel is this place?
But of course, a tipping point, if you want to, based on the current context about what is going on right now, I think the tipping point is the best that, if you put that, my story, the turning point was actually inside the lockup, right? So as you have mentioned this part about, even with that lockdown, which looks like a lockup, it could be an opportunity. How do you see, how do you actually really be positive about negative? How do you see the problem as an opportunity, right? So to me, if you ask me, I would think that this is the best opportunity that you can really sit down and reflect about, what are some of the areas of your life, whether it be it at work, what are some areas at work, what are some of the area actually in life, in your life that is not working well anymore, and list it out, the whole, and list it out, by priorities of what are more important and what are you going to do, right? So once you list out, because this is the best time, if everybody is going to ask you to go and think about it, reflect about life, about work, a lot of people will say that, I'm busy, I don't have a time. By then you have a time that you're really so tired, you just want to sleep and the sort of thing. So I really felt that no tipping point. It is just, we are all confined into a place where it is for us to reflect, do a self-reflection about what is life to you actually. Why, is there something that is not working well right now? What am I going to do, at this point? Yeah. So I look at it as in, like, it's a good opportunity. I years back, I actually collected one of the article from Straits Times, and I don't recall, I can't recall actually the date, but it's actually, I could give credit to Straits Times as well. I'm going to share with you this screen here. When life comes to the crunch, what matters most? What is most important? I mean, a lot of times actually during, before the lockdown or during our work life, we are all very busy, pursuing our wealth, our career and our friends and things like that. Usually family will just, okay, and then, babe, I'll be back. But then you back home will be really tired and things like that, right? So the priority is actually very much about, a lot of people are pursuing that. I'm not saying all, most of them actually, it's true that we need to have a career and life, as money as well, to give the best to our family. So if you look at this life meaning, I'm going to share this part here. Are you able to see?
Yep.
See here. This is from Straits Times. Yeah, life meaning, when life comes to the crunch, okay, family comes first, right? And then health, and then your faith and belief, or religion, or love and things like that. If you look at point 5, 6, 7, and 8, Usually in the past, it's all about career, friends, and then wealth and others, and then right now during the lockdown, I see that you are being forced to actually come to be close to your family, with your spouse, with your parents or your children. So what are you going to do? You even spend the time to exercise at home, to keep yourself healthy. And then because everybody's being forced to stay healthy so you can keep yourself healthy and then stay away from the virus, right? And then people are spending time with God and then build the love and kind of thing. Do you see the entire, difference right now? I see it as an opportunity for us to reflect about what life right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, looking at that list, some people may, because I've heard this saying also say that a crisis is a horrible thing to waste. No, yeah, like it or not, you have to go through it, right?
Yeah.
But whether you make the most of it is a different thing. You can go through it wallowing in self-pity. Also, I mean, you shared a bit about drinking it away, drinking your problems away. So there was a joke lah. You said, people will come out of this MCO horizontally. They are enhanced. Some of them may end up become alcoholic because they're drinking so much, or maybe some of them become master chef. They're good at cooking because they're always posting their pictures. But
Priority. Sorry, I got to add this before.
Please. What are you saying?
I want to actually I challenge myself. I want to challenge all the participants also as well. Why don't you make use of this lockdown, partial lockdown, MCO, or perhaps CB time as well? Use this time to list down 10 things that you've never done before in your family, with your health, and then with your walk with God, or your religion or your belief, right? About it. Write down 10 things. List out the things that are not working well. List all the things that you're going to do and match it up and do it. I'm giving you this challenge because I gave this challenge to myself as well. Right? I cannot. The aircon was out and it was leaking badly. And then, it was so horrible that I can't sleep. And then the aircon guy can't come to fix it because of that. So what I did is I went to the YouTube. I get some tutorial, not course, I just learned something.
Step by steps, yeah.
Yeah, I actually literally able to fix my leaking aircon.
Wow.
Like that. And I'm able to cook that, the big trotter bihun that my wife was so amazed. I've never done this before. I never done this before. And I went to do so many other things. It was the number 6 thing that I've done, I've never done before. But the best thing is that because if you do something new, you will have a new outcome. My sons children see me differently. My wife see me differently. My in-laws, wow, I cannot believe that you are doing this, So it is up to the next notch or the next level in terms of all this. Because some people, we don't see the importance of, our family seeing us, who we are and things like that. It matters. It will encourage us to do even more. So I'm going to, give this challenge to all the participants.
10 things.
10 things that you've never done before. Which is linked to the area that you want to improve. Do it. By then, after the MCO or after the MC period, you'll be amazed. Wonderful things will happen.
And these 10 things, can I also add? Actually, it doesn't need to be so ambitious and so hard to achieve, right? I think it can be.
Not at all.
Yeah. I saw this inspirational video about this, how this seasoned veteran in Marine, how he says that, no, actually it's just a matter of starting one thing a day, and which is for him, which is making his bed, right? Once you have your bed ready,
yes.
You saw that one as well?
Yes.
Everything else just, you already achieve one thing. And then, then the next thing, your rituals, right? So I think even as they think about the 10 things to do, of course, it'd be good to have some things which you've not done yet. Make the most of this time. pick up a new skill, a new language, whatever it is. But sometimes, could be even small things. Like for me, it's cooking lah. I've never really cooked to save my life, but recently I've done some cooking, and people tell, I'm based on pictures lah. Okay, people say, wow, not bad you can cook but then I think it's something which a skill set which I never knew I had in me, but now it's pushed me to do it.
Absolutely.
And I feel my self-esteem in that regard has improved a bit.
That's right.
All right. So okay. Maybe before I ask you the next question, I would like to again open up to everyone who's attending here. You're tuning in from different background, from different locations. If you have questions for Jimmy, feel free to list it in the chat window. Once again, the chat icon's at the bottom. You can click on the chat icon, and then you can list the question in the chat window. You make sure you address it to everyone, as well as you can. I think that's the main thing. Just make sure. Just put the questions there and clear, and then we will try to answer them as much as we can. Okay. All right, Jimmy. Another question for you. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. In your journey as a trainer, as a resilience trainer, as a leadership coach, what would you say are the biggest life lessons that you've learned? And of course, you are a very much sought after, and people, companies, and organizations, they really engage you to really just think through and give some advice and guidance. So today, we're want to say thank you again. Such a privilege to be able to hear from you and to engage with you in this live manner. Again, listeners, attendees, please make the most of this time with Jimmy here. So, okay, again, what would be the biggest life lessons, and personally and professionally, would you maybe want to share with the people attending and listening to this right now?
You said what, personally and professionally? Right?
Yeah, what are the biggest life lessons learned in your personal and professional career?
You know, surprisingly, that actually I see my personal and also professional strategies, and also in life, and my approach, life lesson is pretty much interlinked, right? I mean, to sum up, you know, at work, okay, if your life, you're stuck, you know, you're going through some marriage problem, you know, with the children and finances and things like that. So when you go back to work, you are not happy because you are stuck. So if you're stuck, you're not happy. If you're not happy, you're not productive. So very much about, you know, but when you are happy, you know, sometimes we have work that people come to work, they're so happy, they're so inspired because their life in the family, they're so happy. So they bring the joy, you know, it's just back to the family, and vice versa as well. You know, sometimes work is stress, you bring back to the family as well. So I find that is very much linked, right? So somebody ever asked me before, you know, Jimmy, what is work-life balance to you? You know, work-life harmony and things like that. I say, well, if you want to ask me, it's just get your life balanced and get back to work. Because if you're not balanced, you're not happy, you're not productive. If your life is balanced, you do things really differently. You know, you do things with the, you know, extra miles, and you do things like that. But I can sum up 5. I mean, I'm 55 this year. I will give you 5 biggest life lessons that I've ever learned, you know, till today. Number 1, if I'm going to ask everyone, life won't change if you don't change. Do you agree?
Yeah.
People will agree on life won't change if you don't agree. Life won't change if you don't change. But to me, the first lesson is that not anymore. Life will still change, even if you don't change. The world have already changed. You know, the world has come from globalization to digitalization to personalization. And out of sudden, there's a disruption, everybody gets stuck. So life still change, even if you don't change. So change is the only constant, like it or not. Because you're either, you know, if you don't change, you get swept away that you don't even know why. So to me, first lesson is life won't change if you don't change, not anymore. Life will still change even if you don't change, because the world will change. That's number 1. Number 2, just because everybody is doing the same thing, respond the same way, doesn't mean that they're right. because that people says your idea sucks doesn't mean it won't work. It worked for me. So my second life lesson is that just because people say your idea sucks doesn't mean that it won't work.
Yeah.
It worked for me. Right? So number 3, if you really sincerely and humbly go all the way to help people achieve their goals, you will get, if you help people to get what they want, you will surprisingly get more than what you want. So the life lessons, if you humbly and sincerely help people to get what they want, you will surprisingly get more than what you want, that you don't even know why you have all the blessings and things like that. But that's because the world has changed in such a way. That's number 2. Number 4, your talents, your skills, your talents, your education, they are really essential. Not enough. You need to be able to work with people. You'll be able to influence people, able to win people over, because people matters. All right. So to me, the 4th one is the best skill is the skill of actually how to win people over for life, how to influence them. Because I am a follower of Christ, you know. My life is God's business, and my business is all about God's business. So it's all about people, right? So that's number 4. And number 5, you can be so exceptional, right? You can be so, you can be so special, so unique. You can be so exceptional. It's up to you. It's your choice. So the 5 biggest life lessons that I've learned for the last 55 years.
Really, really great. Thanks for sharing so much of that. So number 1, life will change even if you don't change. That's number 1. And I think the other thing that I commented the last time I talked to you about this is we cannot choose what we go through, but we can choose how we go through it. And that was from Rick Warren. He shared that. You can't change. You can't choose being locked down. You can't choose the MCO. You can't choose this situation put upon you, the economic situation. You can't choose. But how you go through it, that's something you can choose, right?
That's right.
That's taking control of the driver's wheel and actually at least the first step. You may not know the 3rd or 4th step, but at least you try to work on the first step. Secondly, right, you say that just because people say your idea sucks doesn't mean it won't work. Yeah, I believe that as well. One of the things which I thought about it was that visionaries see common sense before it's common.
That's right,
yeah. Before even the rest of, because people may say, you're crazy, wow, a thing that can turn on light. I mean, that's how it works. People, no, building an ark, that's crazy. Or so many things. People say they're crazy, but only crazy people see things happen. Only dreamers see dreams come true, right? Yeah. Okay. Third thing is
crazy people. Let me just add on this part about crazy people. Now, if you look at everyone, all the participants here, and also you look at people outside, everywhere, everybody is fighting some kind of same, a lot of battles and things like that. If you look at everyone, we are all of course, we are all very unique, right? But we are all, a lot of us, we are all commonly unique because we, everybody has if you say that what are some of the things that you're facing through, what are some of the struggles, what are one of the emotion that invokes into your mind about this situation, people will say that, struggles, life and challenges, anxiety, fear, and all this kind of thing. So what's the difference between you and the person sitting next to you and the people around you? Because we're all the same. We are all unique, but commonly unique. So how to be uniquely unique? That's the key. We're doing things and nobody is doing it in a way of the different approach. So contradict more often. If I have time later, I will share with you 10 contradicting life strategies that could last a lifetime. I will only share if the participants are keen and they write down there, yes, and I will share these 10 contradicting life strategies that could last a lifetime. Now, these 10 life strategy was really for me from my breaking point, my turning point, which I've applied to where am I today. And now this strategy is really literally is test cannot find and money cannot buy. The school won't teach you that. So I knocked down so many times. I'm able to share with you. Let me see whether there are more people that really want to share, want me to share, I will share with you. All right?
I think it's very powerful. I think it's very powerful, but I don't know lah. The attendees so far only 3 say yes lah. So I'm not sure if they really want. We'll give you some time to see. Oh, okay, more and more coming in.
Okay.
Okay. So as they come in, okay. Also that was number 3. Okay, sorry, that was number 2, and number 3. If you are humble and sincerely go all out to help, you will get things that you didn't even know you'll get, which is talking about putting other people's first.
Yes, that's right.
So I think that's very powerful. I think even Jesus said that love your enemies, or even put your neighbors above you. So it's actually about putting other people above your own wants or needs. It's about living for others and not about self-serving. That's very powerful as well. I think that's one.
I want to share with you this whether it's a story or okay. I just want to share it. Last year, I remember, I was called 3 times already, to engaged by a Sunway College and University to speak to those pre-U students. I remember it was really amazing that after sharing about almost 300 of those with the students, and then there was a Q&A at the back at the end, and then everybody asked a question, and then one of guy actually asked me, came to me and said that, Jimmy, can you ask me, can I ask you, what's the, in your opinion, what's the best school in the world and the best university and also the best degree for my future, right? So I find that it's a trap question for me because, I dropped out from secondary school, Form 3, right here, and I didn't even have opportunity to go to university, right? And I don't even have a diploma. So the question that comes to me was actually quite weird. So I felt that it was a trap question. So I asked, would you want to know the truth? My opinion. He said, yes, please, can you share? I say, okay, I'll tell you. The best school is the school of pain.
Mm.
When you are facing the pain and the struggles, how do you learn and turn it into lessons and get up and fight? And number 2, the best university is a university of hard knocks. When you get knocked down, how are you going to climb up and bounce back high? That's the best university, the university of hard knocks. So I kept quiet, and then they were asking, what about the degree for my future? Just want to ask themselves whether, is it the right course they are on, and they pursue as well. So I say, okay, the best degree for the future is the degree of encouragement. Now, if you are an encourager, if you're all the way out to find opportunity to encourage people, to help them to achieve their goals and their dreams, and help them succeed in life, really you will surprisingly get more than what you want that you wouldn't even can you imagine. So in the workplace, I share a lot, and people start to do things so differently that they will find opportunity to encourage others. It's very simple. You have 3 top performance salespeople. They are doing well, and then you're not. But yet they are doing so well that But each time when they need encouragement, they come to you. Become their encourager. Question: who's greater? You come to you, and surprisingly, opportunity comes to you that you don't even know.
Yeah.
So be an encourager. Be someone that people really look up to, and you will see your life transform. You don't have to pursue and then step to climb in career. It won't work in this new era anymore. Okay?
Yeah. Powerful. I think it sounds cliche to some people, School of Hard Knocks and University of Pain, but I think really that truly is what life is. It's a powerful perspective. I also once, in my own life also, I realized that if God is your teacher, the whole world is his classroom, right? Yeah. And it feels like right now, everyone is taking the same exam right now. How are you going to come through this exam? It's going to be because I think for a lot of people, our whole lives has been a time of preparation and just learning and putting all this theory. But now the theory is put to the test. So how are you going to respond to this? How can we pick ourselves up? Are we going to be just like theory? But then when it comes to practical, forget because
Yeah.
so the powerful thing is to bring God into this conversation and to bring God into the situation and say that he is very much a part of it. He's not surprised by the coronavirus and the COVID-19. In fact, he has a plan and purpose. But what are we doing to partner with him and to do something about it and
Absolutely.
to be faithful in our stations, right?
Mm.
And also the other thing that you shared was very powerful is how sometimes we pursue the result of something, but we are not going after the core thing, which is like you say, even helping friends, right? Is for example, how I see it, how I unpack your statement was like people want good physique and body, they want muscle, they want a slim tummy for girls, they want to be, but they're not going after the workout, they're going after the result, right?
Yeah.
But you can't get the result without the working out. You can't get the result without the putting in the sweat, blood, tears, right? So sometimes people, the expectation is mismatched. I feel that's what I get from what you shared as well. Sometimes you have to work out your salvation, work out your life. It takes effort. No, God never said it'll be easy, right? And
but the truth is that a lot of people out there, I mean good and bad as well, but to me it's really that everybody is out there selling something, you know. Whatever it is, like, you know, there's something also as well. But if you can go out there unconditionally to help
sincere,
people,
authentic,
be authentic and help people to achieve, you know, just spread their positivity and just give them some light bouts about the struggles they are facing right now. And you'll never know that actually what you have done, you create a lot of happiness for yourself.
I truly believe in that, Jimmy. I feel that one of the reasons people feel down and depressed and they feel like they don't know what to do is because a lot of attention, I mean, like it or not, is put on themselves. So why am I a failure? Why am I not this? Why am I not that? You compare other people. So a lot of the energy is focused on self. I feel one of the ways to get out of this mode or get out of this feeling of inadequacy or pain or disparity is actually to focus on others.
That's right. Yeah.
Help others, then you will feel better, because it's not about just hoarding up possession and things for yourself. It's about seeing someone else in need.
Others before self.
Exactly, others before self. Powerful. Okay, and then of course your last 2 points was talents, education, intelligence is important, but it's not everything. So you cannot depend on it, especially now when we put the test. And finally, you can be exceptionally special, but it's all up to you. All right. So looking at the chat, I'm getting some some questions and some feedback. But also, I think when we signed up for this, there were a few questions that was asked. Can I maybe make a quick disclaimer that today's sharing is more of mental resilience and how we can be prepared for this whole MCO, and if it stretches longer, and we also don't know. Okay, it's anyone's guess how long this will be. But there are some questions specific to certain industries which we will not touch, because we are talking about more universal things, right, Jimmy? We're not going to go into industry specifically. But maybe what I can ask, one of the questions that was asked in one of the emails is, how do you define success, and what can we do to get there? What's your definition of success, Jimmy?
Wow, this question is really, really wide. You know, success really boils down to, at the end of the day, what do you really want, right? I mean, it still boils down to the part where, you know, what you want, what can you do, and what will you do to get what you want. You know, there are some people that are very contented. They just want to have just this. Some they want to have more. But I find that if you want something, if you want wealth, if you want something for yourself and things like that, this will be a never-ending story. So if you ask me this, I think it still boils down to exactly what you want. So a lot of people say that, you know, I want happiness. So happiness, what will make you happy, right? What really will make you happy? That's where I'm happy. Some say I want to have more money. Some say I want to this. Some say I want to have that. And some say I want to, you know, I want to have a happy family and things like that. You know, also, so there are a lot of things that need to be done if you want to have a happy family. So how are you responding? How are you, you know, responding with your wife, your husband, or, you know, your spouse and things like that? You know, I mean, I've gone through the experience, so I like to also joke this as well. You know, if you really want to have a happy life, make sure you have a happy wife. You know, it's okay. I'm human, it's okay. You know, don't worry. no problem, don't worry about what other people say that, after that she's going to climb on top of my head and things like that. No, it's just, that's what life is all about. It's okay, to be happy. So the more love, the more extra things, mild that you do for your wife, I tell you, one day when she sees your love, you will see a great difference. And I tell you, you're going to be a happy person. So it's a voice down to, at the end of the day, what do you really want?
Right. So for the husbands that's tuning in, I think that's a very big one, right? I hear this all the time, like happy wife. It's everywhere. It's true, I think. Okay, but follow-up question. Could it also be that some people are unhappy or people are feeling they don't know what to do is because their definition of success may be in the wrong things? Maybe it's unrealistic goals, or maybe it's goals that is self-serving, or I don't know. What are your thoughts about it? Could it be some people don't know what to do, or they are at a loss, or they're feeling despair because of these wrong goals?
My third life lessons earlier that I've shared, right? Third life lessons very much about sincerely help others to get what they want. You get surprisingly get more than what you want. I mean, I came from a life that prior to the lockup, 40 years, 40 years of whatever that I've going through before the lockup. I remember that actually I was, a man that is really very much about myself, that what I want, wealth and things like that. Everything that I fight for is actually for the best in terms of wealth and money, and then to show people how much I have and what I can do. I find that it's really, really very tiring. I'm never ever in a point where we'll do things unconditionally for people as well. I'm like selling something. When I want to approach someone, I know that this guy will be able to help me. I'll be nice to this person, and one day the guy can help me. So until the second phase of after the 40 years after the lockup, I really literally see things very different light. I will find opportunity to really go out there to make a difference, that people remember me for the rest of their life. If I'm going to end up this part here, later I might share this. Maybe I can share. Do we still have time? I want to share with you.
Maybe we can take this because I put the time as 4:30, so we have maybe about 15-20 minutes left. Yeah.
Okay, I want to share with you something very personal about life lesson number 3. Right. So the first 40 years where I was pursuing materials gain and things like that, things that are beneficial to me. And then, so when after the crossover was actually very much after the lockup, right? So I really, really literally see things very differently. Now, where did I get this inspiration? I share with you something very, very personal. I remember at the funeral of my late son, Sean. And funeral, we were all being, there will be people that share their, eulogy and things like that. We are all due for eulogy at the end, basically a lot of people will say, good things, and then, all these things about this person have done and things like that. So for me, those, a lot of young people from Church of Ascension, I remember at the St. Andrew village, the school there, Mrs. Pride, actually, the principal, connect me to the youth pastor, Dennis, and then we bring a group of youth that came in, and I remember they were spending a lot of time with Sean. At the time, we weren't a Christian, we are not a Christian yet, and then this youth and a group were just equipped with a guitar, and a bunch of youth, they will spend a good time, they will praise and worship with him in the hospital, and then you just spend a very good time with them and things like that. So in the midst of that, a lot of those young adults, they learn a lot of very good values about Sean. Even going through pains, he's still, taking care of other people to ensure that they are safe back home after they take him to the hospital. They got to make sure things are all, at the right place before he can just rest. Okay, so he was going through a very, very tough time. The time was in pain and things like that. So I remember some of the youth came up and then shared a eulogy about what Sean had done. And it's just amazingly that, such a young boy can impart such a good values in the people's life and things like that. So they remember him. There was this one guy that shared. And I remember the coffin, Sean's coffin was there, and then, and then, I was sitting here, And then this guy was sharing about, I'm so amazed that this young boy, loved the father so much and asked the father to promise him 3 things on a separate occasion, to quit smoking, to love the parents, love his parents, which is his grandparents, as well as to work hard so he can buy his own home and things like that. How can a young boy ask the father to, teach the father to become a good man, right? So now, when I was in the lockup, this scene, this entire, picture came in, I wonder what will people see me sitting there where my dead son, Sean, was there in the coffin before, the cremate, right? And people were sharing about how this boy has inspired the father to become a good man. And I asked a lot of questions to many people that, if I'm going to give you one word to say, in one word to describe this man sitting there, what would you say? I tell you, a lot of people, they say that, this is just hopeless, this is just, loser, he's just whatever it is. It's okay. So when I was in the lockup, before I walk out, I decided that, no. This cannot happen anymore. I want to go out there to make a difference. I want to build the eulogy that Sean has. I want, even at my very last day, that people can stand up and say, what I have done that have transformed and changed the life of so many. And at the end, I can go up to heaven and I say, God can say that. Jesus can say, good job, Jimmy. So that was the one that really inspired me to say that life, you don't have to pursue anything. All you have to do is just go out there to make a difference, to leave a mark, not just an impact, not just an impression, but leave an impact. Leave a mark that people will remember you for the rest of their life. That's my whole entire mission. So wonderfully, God has turned my ministry into a career. So I'm reaching out to a lot of workplace to share with them that, it's not about work. It's just how to impact people.
It's very good that you use your pain as something that you used to as a purpose, as something you bless people with. You could just dwell in it, but you used it. Okay, let's go to some questions. And and of course, many people say they want to hear your 10 contradicting strategies for life. But maybe just a few questions before we go to that, right? From Karen, she's asking, see, I always believe to give more than you can get. Okay, give more than you get. However, people tend to take advantage on you for being too kind. That means we just doing. So how would you want to Karen, who's asking this question?
That was exactly on the first 40 years that when I did something for someone, I'd expect something back. And this is quite a pain. But if you want to do something and don't expect anything back, it is quite a joy. Because you won't have any pain. And the people will remember you for the rest of your life because of what you have done. So I came from the point of first 40 years, I must make sure I do something beneficial to me that people will even come to me and tell me thank you or whatever. Even if you don't tell thank you, so what? It's like driving driving, right? Especially in Singapore, you drive, and then somebody want to turn to your lane, and then you just wave a hand and come in. So the person coming, you look at the mirror whether the person raised a hand and said thank you or not. If don't, you say, you think about your father, Lord, I give you way, you also didn't want. That was me. But at the end of the day, I don't have to expect anything back.
Yeah.
Because I believe whatever our steps and everything that we do in life, God is watching.
That's the whole thing about being fully altruistic, right? I mean, if you're helping people with the back of your mind thinking that there's something in return, then it's not sincere, and it's not really sincere, authentic.
But of course, I mean, for her to share, it's a very genuine question.
Yes, yeah, I know.
It's a really genuine question. I can fully understand that.
Sometimes
there before, same also as well. Yeah,
I search myself as well. Sometimes if I help people, if this person has no way of paying back or to return the favor, I think that's something which I feel a bit more proud about, because wow, it's not about getting back in return something, you know.
Yeah,
So I think that's
right.
what, you know, some people help also, even nowadays. I mean, a lot of people are doing a lot of great work, but sometimes people say, hey, why do good things must take picture and post for everybody to see? Well, it's like, I did this, I did that, you know what I mean? But of course, if it's to encourage people to do the same, then I think by all
Yeah,
means,
yeah.
do that. All right, another question. Okay, before we go into the 10 contradicting points, this Mr. I don't know, Mr. or Miss, I don't know, Pui Cheng Wong asked, okay, Pui Cheng, okay, should be a lady, okay, I don't know. I'm still looking forward to the sharing on what to do when you don't know what to do. I think maybe this person is asking practical steps, like really like don't know what to do. What is the practical steps? Yeah.
Okay, now if you talk about really don't know what to do, it all depends on your current context of where you are, okay, in that life journey. Okay, so that would be, I mean, I do personal leadership coaching as well. I do coaching for employees and also some individual as well. So every problem or situation, there's no one solution fits all. So I cannot just say that these are the 5 things that you can do in order to get out and things like that. So it all depends on that as well. But however, I will share right now the 10 contradicting life strategies that
It will help with that question.
that you're probably able to give this preaching some answers as well.
All right.
Are we ready for that?
Yeah, let's go for it. I think there are many, I lost count of how many yeses there are here. So I think they've been waiting for this. So please go ahead and just share that.
Okay.
Yep.
You might want to take some notes, all right? So for some participants, this was a 10 contradicting steps, or I call it contradicting life strategies that I have been applying to today, right? So it's not easy, but I have a so-called formula in a way how I overcome as well. But first thing first, number 1 is the most important, to pick yourself up and go and face it head on. Now, when I say pick yourself up, it can be also restart about anything, okay? First thing first, you need to decide this part. Are you able to just to face it head on into the struggles or challenges that you're facing now? So when I go out of the lockup, I face it right now. First thing that I've done, extend the olive branch to my ex-wife then. What are you going to do? I mean, I'm not saying that you will follow what I'm doing. I'm just saying that doing something that you've never done before. Let me really pick yourself up or restart all over again on something.
It means to face it head on and not just put it on the side, because if it keeps being on the side, it can be on the side for a long, long time. But this is a matter of how you can find resolution and closure and peace.
That's right. That's right. This is the first one that, even including facing head on, including that, to let go something that, that is stuck in your mind, where somebody that really, make you so, pain and, struggle for many years. When you get up first thing in the morning, you just think of a person nighttime, you think you feel so bad. This is also facing head on, just let go. That's the first thing that we need to do. Second thing, of course, I mean, if you say that, I have a goal, I have a dream, but look at the current situation now, I think my career is at stake, my business is at stake, what should I do now? I mean, like I say, I'm a Christian. I believe in a lot of words, in the Bible. The second step best that I can do, since a lot of dreams are being dashed, that time when a dream was dashed, what can I do? Number 2 is to aspire to have no goals.
No goals.
When I say aspire to have no goals, it means to say that you still have a dream, you can put the dream aside. You don't have to focus on the dream and the goal, put it aside. Because Jeremiah 29:11 says that God has a plan to prosper you and not to destroy you. God will really control the outcome and give you the plan to prosper you. So why do you have to worry about the big goals? Put that aside. And then come back to aspire to have no goal and ask yourself, what is one thing in your life or 5 things in your life that is not working well right now? That is not okay anymore. Work on it. Do something that you've never done before in this area of your life that is not working well. Simply say that if you cannot resolve that one area of your life, it's tough to achieve your big dreams. So this is the first task. Aspire to have no goals. And work onto the things that is not working well. That's number 2.
Right.
Okay. I'm sure everybody, I hope everybody.
Yeah, following, they're just absorbing this nugget of truth. I think they're still in shock. Don't have any goals, huh? Yeah. Okay.
I'm sharing this not because to say that you have to follow that. I'm just sharing with you.
Your own, yeah.
Like, number 3, there will be people laugh at you. There will be people that question you. There will be people, come to you and then say that, yeah, there's something wrong with you. Importantly, the number 3 is to really go into say, don't think about what others think about you. Okay. Don't worry about what others are thinking about you. Don't think about what others think about you. That's number 3. It's none of their business. It's your business because it's your life. It was my life then. I have to decide what I want, right? That's number 3. Okay, got it? Number 4 is to be positive about negative. I mean, a lot of people have negative thoughts about what's the current situation. Why don't you look into the positive side? That is the best time that we can actually do some reflection and just to really recollect about our life. What are some of the things that we can improve and make it better? Perhaps, just spend some, do something, do 10 things that you've never done before with the family, with the health, with all this kind of thing, right? So be positive about negative, right? And the 5th one is surrender your rights. That means it boils down to the part where nothing to prove, everything to improve. My rights, why I cannot go for a run, why I cannot go out there, why I cannot drive this, why I cannot go out there, I'm stuck at home. There's no more rights. At this most crucial time right now, your rights is not important, but I think your life is more important.
Can I share a quick joke about that I saw? I think many people saw as well. You know which I'm talking about? Yeah. If with all the MCO and CB, no human right. But if you don't follow, no human left.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep. So we're number 4 now.
It's your choice really about your life, because you're going to affect not only, your life, why don't I say that it's not your life? It's about your family, the people around, the nation, and things like that, So it's not whether, your freedom is being, compromised, but your life is at stake.
Right.
So this is really surrender your rights. Right? Nothing to prove, everything to improve. And number 6 is to take advantage of the disadvantage. I'm a school dropout. I got learning disabilities. I've been dyslexic for 47 years. I don't even know. Though I wrote a book, but I never read a book, entire book in my life before. I just the tips and things like that. I put a real life story in there. Just for your information, I'm writing my 2nd book. I'm on the way to write my 2nd book as well. Great. So I really find that if it is a disadvantage of like your education is not good enough, your background is not better enough, your whatever that is not better than anyone else, these are the disadvantages. How to take advantage of the disadvantages. Now, if you have a disadvantages, but you are better than anybody else that has the advantages, you are advanced, you are better than anyone else. How to really take advantage of the disadvantages, that's number 6. Number 7 is to don't be an expert. Be a new beginner. We already learned a lot of things about our life, from till now, where we are, our age and things like that. There are a lot of things that actually we are so good, we are so good in the things that we are doing, So we are proving a lot of people wrong, proving our, all this kind of thing. I think you're better. So it was me before that. I always thought that way. But actually, this is the most important time to say that, okay, I'm not an expert. I want to be a new beginner of something. Even the things that you're good at, to go back to the basics again, and how you can be better. Right. So this is number 7, and number 8. Throw yourself to improve. Throw your entire self to yourself to improve. You have to fight. You have to go this alone. That means go all the way out now to do things to make sure that you improve on the area that is not working well. All the way. Someone asked me before that, you know, Jimmy, how do you able to speak that way and things? I said, no, I'm not an eloquent speaker, but because I took the opportunity and time to really learn, you know, to go really out there to self-learning and then, you know, just don't worry. Even you speak broken English, doesn't matter, you know. Yeah. I remember a friend of mine, Dr. Alex Wee in Singapore, said that, you know, you don't have to speak the way, the slang to show people how good you are. Just be yourself.
Yeah.
So I just learned all this. So I'm sure that you heard some of the broken English. I mean, some of the grammar and things like that. It doesn't matter because that's not important. You know, more important to me is actually to get the message across to share with you as well. Okay. So number 9, know who and what you're working for. Know what you're living for, the whole entire purpose. I mean, my purpose is my faith. You know, my faith, my business is all about God's people. So my whole entire purpose is to, because since Sean had added the value into my life, and I'm sure that God has really, you know, divinely make this happen. And I'm here out there to add values to people's lives. So the entire purpose behind, the big purpose in the whole wide world right now. And if the purpose is only for money, it's very tough. You know, you will never get enough. So it's just, what are some of the purpose? Mine is really about touching others as well. And the last one, which is the most important thing, which is leaving a mark, leaving a legacy behind. Living the eulogy is to help others succeed. And these are the 10 contradicting life strategies that I've applied that can last a lifetime.
Thanks so much for sharing that, Jimmy. Maybe because we want to draw it to a close right now, because we're going to do 2 more things before we fully close.
Yeah,
maybe just one last question is that from Serene. She asked, in your life challenges, what are your biggest learnings about God and who He is to you?
First thing is, I want to say that without God, I would not be here anyway. So how I got all the wisdom to do what I do is that I remember years back when I was in Singapore, when I was still lost and I don't know what to do. And I was told, you know, one of the sermon that, you know, the Holy Spirit live in us, you know, you can actually talk to the Holy Spirit and things like that. So one day I started to go for a run. I said, Holy Spirit, today I want to make an appointment with you. I want to brainstorm with you and tell me, what can I do as a Christian, as a new believer? What can I do when I really don't know what to do? So when I was go running, and every time God would just give me, Holy Spirit give me some message, you know. So I just write down. I didn't even know that the whole entire thing, when they come back, everything comes together. It becomes a jigsaw puzzle that, you know, what I'm doing right now. So every time, and even when I came back, my wife asked me, so what's the message today? I said, don't know. That's God just show me that, you know, Genesis chapter 12, you know, just go to the land, I'll show you. And, you know, like a lot of things that, you know, we need to do, right? So that's why I think that, this is a purpose. You know? If God sent His only Son, Jesus, to die for my sin, one sacrifice of Sean, that I can touch millions of lives, I know there's a purpose for my life. It's to inspire hope.
Wow. That's great. I think, and I think you've done that today, really inspire people with hope, especially hearing from someone like you who have gone through so much and being able to come back and bounce back stronger than before. I think people who are going through hard times right now also can have some form of aspiration or some form of role model or some form of example to look at. Let's say people want to find out more about your life and what you've done, or maybe is there any resources that they can you can point them to?
Of course, I mean, this is not a marketing talk. I'm not going to do any upselling or anything. No, it's just I just want to say that I mean, you can go to YouTube. You can just Google Jimmy Ong's life story. You can probably get some toggle from Channel News Asia, from Channel 5 in Singapore, and also the news radio as well. But if you want to go into the work, for example, if you want to, to ask for some information or some leaders of coaching and also to inspire some of the employees, you can go to jomc.co, jomc.co, which is Jimmy Ong Motivation and Coaching.co. So jomc.co, and you can find some information.
You mentioned about your book where you wrote your life story breakthrough as well. Where can people get your copy of your book?
My books are really all sold out, but
okay.
I'm looking into the second book, and yeah, I'm still praying and ask God to help me on that.
It's good that I have one copy at least. And then there's a short survey that you want the attendees to do right now.
Yeah, okay. I've already shared whatever that I've shared. I mean, I saw one that text someone sent me, actually, what's your work? I don't know how they got my WhatsApp. What's your work? What do you do? And things like that. Whatever you have heard of that, right? This is my work. Now, I have to say that my work is all about addressing the silent struggles and equip people with tools to make things happen, literally, right? And also, I keep it real. I solve real problems, okay, whether in the workplace or whether in life also as well. But in the workplace, I very much, I would say that humanize the workplace, engage the hearts to drive productivity. That's the work that I'm doing, okay? So can I just ask everyone, thank you very much for your time. I just want to ask you to do me a small favor, to give me something. Is that okay? I just want to ask everyone that what's the overall experience that you have for this entire session, so at least you can encourage me as well. I have this online poll that I'm going to share with you. You just log on to this, and I just share with me that what is one word that one experience that you have in one word for this entire session. They can give it to us. Is that okay?
Yeah. So So I have to ask this, everybody. Once you do this, don't disappear. Yeah, I scared they got the browser, then they disappear. I just want them to do this. Come back real quick because we want to do two more things. I want to share more about the next coming webinar,
yes,
as well as a quick group picture with everyone. But yeah, so that URL. Okay, don't leave. You leave the browser. Don't suddenly real world, then you leave. So what's the URL?
Okay, can you go to the, everyone take your phone and then go into www.menti.com and then use this code. Just put down one word, okay? How would you describe the overall experience for this session in just one word?
So it's mentimeter.com.
Yeah.
And then,
no, menti.com, yeah, menti.com.
Okay, mentimeter.com, and you key in the code 795454.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
And that's, your feedback, it really matters, so thank you so much, everyone. I hope that you can give me this gift.
I can't see the screen from my screen. Yeah, so it's mentimeter.com. One word is...
No, it's just menti.com.
Oh, menti.com. Okay, sorry, menti.com. Okay. All right.
Uplifting, thank you. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Thank you so much, everyone. Man, really appreciate. I really appreciate.
Yeah. So this is like a word cloud now. So is it the big word means it's more people say the same word?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
So a lot of people think it's inspiring. Is that what it means?
Yeah, that's right.
The first time using this as well. Okay. Yeah. Good.
Wonderful. Wow. 14. We have 14. Can we have some? Can I have some? At least I got something back, because this is a free live public webinar all the way just for you, because you're important. You're important to God. You're important to us as well. So please give me one encouragement, just one word for us, so I can take back as well.
So I'm keying into the chat as well. It's menti.com, and the code is 795454. Okay, menti.com 795454. Okay, 18 people has submitted their thing, so that's about half. So if you have a few more, then maybe I can go to the next thing.
Sure.
But wow, it's things like awesome, blessed, hopeful, touching, empowering, fantastic, insightful, uplifting, wonderful, peaceful, bold, enriching, impactful, awesome. I think the big one is inspiring. I think really want to thank you again, Jimmy, for inspiring all of us. Using your pain and your hardship, you don't keep it and you don't leave it as a past, but you use it as something that can encourage people and give them handles, and actually you turn it into life lessons that are practical. So really, that is a big encouragement for all of us, and for me, I'm sure, and for all of us as well, Jimmy. So wow, 23 people have said, a lot of them inspiring. So you're inspiration, Jimmy.
So it's okay. So I think we will stop here.
So last two things is, can we take a group picture? If you're not shy, can you just turn on your camera? We'll do a snapshot of everyone. You can turn on the gallery view so everyone can see who you are. Hi, Belle. Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Hi, Ling.
Thank
Winnie
you.
there. Okay, Anthony, I see. Nick. Right. So at least now we get to see each other. This now was one way. If I do this, I'm just taking a chance. I'm mute all now. Oh, okay.
Thank you. I see some familiar faces as well. Wow, God bless you.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, there. Yeah. Waiting for the rest of you. Just show yourself so we can take a group picture. This is what group picture is in the day that we live in now. It's group photos like that. This is our Wi-Fi, our COVID-19 MCO Wi-Fi. All right. Wow, good to see you, James. I'm muting all. I can hear you guys. Brendan, you, Timothy, Joe.
This is a troll game.
Okay, Ivan. Very sexy, Ivan. Okay. Right. Let's take a big picture together.
Together, can everyone just put this love?
The love thing.
Just love.
Okay.
Right? Can everybody just put it?
I know. I need to hold on. Yeah.
This one also can, eh? This one also can, right?
Okay. I'm a photographer. I'm the photographer, so I cannot do it.
Come on.
All right. Okay, everyone. You see everybody. All right, one more. Hold on now. Just hold that pose. Don't go first. All right. Good to see you, Vincent. Stephanie. Okay, good to see all of you. Okay, good to see everyone. James, Timothy. Okay, Joseph. Okay, one last thing. Can I share with you guys? Okay, thanks everyone. One last thing is to share with you. This is our next. This is our next webinar on Wednesday. Can you see this? Yeah. So we are having it on Wednesday at 5 p.m. with Brenda York. And hold on, let me see how I can do this. Okay, yeah. So it'll be good to see all of you there as well, and please share it with other people. And we hope that you also have a time where you can get some handles in managing finances in challenging times. Once again, it's Wednesday at 5 p.m. and then another one on Friday at 5 p.m. with Hanson Lim, which is also sharing about a kingdom assignment in these times, because God is doing something, but where do you fit in all these things? So once again, thank you so much, Jimmy, for your life story and sharing. And we just want to say really to everyone, have a good weekend, and just let's be strong and let's go through this time together, and let's really come out stronger and resilient and come out overcomers. All right. So take care, everyone. God bless. Bye-bye.